Yeah, I wanted to put together a little video here to show users how to transfer a website from one hosting package to another hosting package. And I think I'll break it down into three sections here. Account setup, the accounts that you need to host your website and get it on the internet, the information that you need to set it up on your hosting, and the actual installation procedure. First thing we want to start off with is the accounts that you require. I prefer to have GoDaddy manage all my domains. They're recognized across the internet. They have a very standard system for managing domains, and they make it easy to do many of the jobs that you might need to do, whether it's transferring a domain from one account to them, from someone else to them, or another little job that you may require. In this particular instance, you change the name servers. Each domain, when you set up a hosting account, the hosting people will supply you with two sets of numbers, or it's their alphanumeric, and they are particular to that hosting. And you go to your domain management and you modify your name servers. We've got three parties involved in this. The World Wide Web, they're the traffic manager. They want to know where to tell people to find your website, and they need data for that, standard data across the World Wide Web. Those are name servers. So at your domain management, you tell them, you specify the name servers that are supplied by your hosting account. So when you set up your hosting account, they'll say, this is name server 1, this is name server 2. Go to your domain management, put that information in. That information then goes to the World Wide Web, and they can direct people. They know how to direct people to find your website. That's how those all, basically three entities tie together. So that's the account setup. You need a hosting account, you need a domain manager. I prefer GoDaddy for my domain management. I prefer HostGator for my hosting. I've been through a lot of different hosting packages, and HostGator has been flawless for me. They're very helpful if you have a problem. Everything is their website management is standardized across the web. So let's end this part 1 at that basic introduction, and I'll move on to information gathering in part 2. Okay, we're into part 2 here. I'll call this information gathering, and to get your website up and running at your hosting account, you'll need two sets of files. You need a database. This is a database of information that has been saved from the current installation. You need a set of WordPress files. This is a standard set of files provided by the WordPress people. They're the basic files that make any WordPress installation work. Specific to your own website, the WordPress files access a database that's maintained at your hosting, and this database is an extra set of files that WordPress uses that are specific to your website installation. So you've got a basic set of files and an extra set of files that make that WordPress installation your own. So I've got those two sets of files stored in a folder at this moment. The database, I have exported a database from a website that I have online right now, and I've copied the WordPress files for that particular website into that same folder. And what I'm going to do is go to a blank website. I'll go to the hosting for that website, create a database, and then the database that I have stored in a folder on in my computer is a database that I have exported from a currently working database. I'm going to import that database from my computer into the database I've created at my hosting, and then I will modify one file in the WordPress files so that it will access that new database at the new hosting for that particular website. Okay, I think I will stop that here, call that part 2, and we'll move on to part 3 in a minute here. I need to make a short video here that shows you how to use a tool that you will need for the initial setup of your website. You will have a set of files on your computer or on your disk that you need to upload to your hosting. Those files are the WordPress files copied from your working site, and they need to be uploaded to your hosting. You can get an FTP program on the internet. There's free versions available, paid versions. I use a program called Smart FTP, and I believe they have a free trial offer. If not, you can just search Google for FTP. You'll find a free version, a free brand that you can use to upload your files to your hosting account. So we'll go to Smart FTP, and I have it open here. I've opened the account at my hosting. I've logged into my cPanel where everything is hosted, and we have a folder called Public HTML, and you double click on that and it opens a window over here. Now on my computer I have all the files from your current working website at the origin hosting. So all I do is highlight all the files. These are the files that are saved to disk or computer. Just highlight them, and in Smart FTP it's quite simple. Highlight those files, make sure you have public HTML double clicked and an open clean page here, and push this little arrow here. This is what we see in Smart FTP. You can also drag and drop, actually click on those and drag and drop them over, but I just push the arrow, click the arrow, and it will begin the process. You can see it's begun the process of copying those files over. Now I'm just going to let it copy all those files over to the public HTML folder at my hosting account, and once that's done, we'll proceed to the next step. This is I had to demonstrate this tool and show you how you get your WordPress files loaded up to your hosting account. So we'll end this one here and move on after this one's the files are moved over. Okay, we're logged in here. This would be where you log in to your newly created hosting account. And with this video, we're going to do two things. We're going to create a database, and then we're going to import the database that I have provided saved to a file on my computer, or you will find it on the disk provided. First off, we'll create the database. Here's your main hosting cPanel. That's the control panel where you perform all the duties related to your website hosting. And we want to go down to databases, and they guide you through the process of creating a database, and you also have to associate a user with that database and give that user full privileges to access the database. So we're going to go to Database Wizard, click on that, and we need to name the database. So let's name this one just anything. I'm going to put SMKPIP. That's the name of the database. Next step, we need to create a user, and I will SMKPIP. I use the same name for the user and for the database, and we also have to provide a password to access that database for the WordPress installation. So I'll put in a password for that database. It can be whatever you choose. Say create the user, and then we have to assign or designate that stipulate that that user has all privileges to accessing that database. So click on next step. Now we've created the database, created the user, given full privileges to that database for the user. We'll go back home here. The next step, the backup copy or the saved copy of the database from the current working version of your website. We need to import that into that newly created website, and there's under databases here at your cPanel again, there's a button that you click. It's called PHP MyAdmin. We're going to click on that, and it'll open up a new window, and it's taking a minute here. And we see over in the left hand side here that database that we just created. We're going to double click on that. Now we want to import the saved database from your working website. So up here's a button, import. We'll click on import. And it's a little slow. So we have to go to that disk or on your computer, wherever that saved database, backed up database exists. I've got it on my hard drive here, and I better find it quickly here. I got a lot of stuff here. Double click on that, and here's the database, thenryfi. It ends in .sql. So I select that file. You see right here it has selected that file. Go down to the bottom, click on go, and now it's going to import that database that came from your working website on the old hosting, and it's bringing that file into your newly set up hosting account. So we'll give it some time here. Actually, things are a little slow because I'm also transferring the files using FTP, transferring the WordPress files at the same time, and it's slowed things down a little bit here. So you can see it's still working. It's importing that database into your new database. And I think I'll just sign off here for now. Yes, there's nothing more you need to know. The database will be created at your hosting account, and it'll be ready for access by the WordPress files. So we'll let this run through. It'll take a little bit because I have a couple of things going on here at the same time, and we'll get back to you on the next video. Okay, we've uploaded all your files for your website to your hosting account. We've created a database. We've imported your working database into that new database. We're getting near there. We've got one final step here, and this website will be operational. There's a file that you uploaded called a WP config file. That file tells WordPress how to access the database. And one thing I forgot to tell you was to record the username and the database name when you were creating the new database. We need to change the WP config file to that new information. So we're on the WP config file that you have on disk. We're going to right click on that, and we're going to open it up, and all we need to do is change the database name. And the new database that I created was smoker pi underscore smkpip, and that thing, that's going to be the same thing. I'm just going to copy that, paste that in the information for the username, paste that in there, and I will click on File, Save, and close that down. Now in your FTP or on that disk, in that file, we've changed the configuration to reflect the information to access the newly created database. What we want to do now with that is copy it over to your hosting account. It will overwrite the one we already uploaded. Just to show you, right now if we tried to access that website, we would get, it wouldn't recognize the current configuration for that database. It's a error establishing database connection. You can see this is smokerpipestore.com. Nothing there right now. We're going to go over here. We're going to copy the new information, the WP config file across, copy and replace it, and now it knows how to access the database. So I'm just going to close down FTP. I'm done with it here. We'll go back to this page. Here's the website address where we've uploaded everything. I'm just going to refresh that now that we've told it how to access the database. And this is the website that we just uploaded everything to your new hosting account. The WordPress files have been uploaded, the database has been updated, it knows how to access that database to get the information. It's a working website. I've got basically for a base theme of WordPress, non-premium theme, you're done. I'm going to make one more video here. I use a premium theme that requires a specific license code to be entered into the administration end of the WordPress file, and I'll make a video on that as well. But this is your website is up and running right now. Now we'll go into one more video, a little specific to the back end of managing WordPress. Okay, you should have your website up and running now just by uploading the files required, WordPress files, and accessing the database for your current installation. That's fine and dandy, but you're using WordPress and you may want your website to be changed. You may want changes made in the future. I'm not going to go into too much on using WordPress because I've probably got 30 or 40 videos that show the various things you can do. You make these changes by logging into the back end, the administration end. One thing that could happen, most of your websites, I use a premium theme. It's called Flex Squeeze, and I paid for that theme. I paid to use it on multiple websites. There could be a chance that you may be required to buy a license to use that theme, and if you do, it's going to be a price of doing business, I guess. You go to a place on the internet, just search Google Flex Squeeze, go there. You may have to sign up and buy a single user license to use that theme. If somebody may question it, or it may not activate properly when you upload your files to your hosting account. So I've got just a blank website here. I want to show you what that entails, and this is a nothing website. I just want to log into the back end, the administration end, where all the changes are made to WordPress. So I'm going to type in wp-admin, go to the back end, and this is the area where you make all your changes to your website. And the themes, you can quickly change the look of a website by using various themes. I use Flex Squeeze a lot. There's a lot of reasons. I couldn't begin to explain them all to you at one sitting here. But anyway, we're going to go to Appearance, click on the Appearance button, and pop up Themes. Now the theme I'm using is the theme I want to change this to, and I use on most of my newer websites, is Flex Squeeze 1.5. So I'm going to click down here on a button that says Activate. When I click on that, say Activate, it's going to change the look of that to Flex Squeeze, the look of Flex Squeeze. And it will do it without a license, but there's a lot of things that you want to manage in Flex Squeeze settings, and in order to do that, you see up here it says install license. So I go to install license, and I need to go to my membership at Flex Squeeze, input this website address, and generate a license. So I've already done that. I've generated a license for this URL, onlineweb.com. I'm going to click that on here, paste in that license, say Activate Theme, license code is valid, and now it's going to add a new option over here under appearance, Flex Squeeze theme options. When we go to Flex Squeeze theme options, that allows me to make a number of changes. I can change just about anything regarding navigation, appearance, colors, everything for that theme. Let's just take a look. You saw what the website looked like before. Let's look at it now. Visit site, and bingo, that's what it looks like now. I haven't adjusted any of the settings. You can see this is just a blank website. This is a special area where you can put in specific information, special offers, blah blah blah. There's a header, footer, a number of options, and you won't concern yourself with much of that. I mention this simply because you may find that you do have to buy a license and you need to know how to activate it. These are all the settings to manage WordPress on the back end, the administration end, and you can add new posts. Click on posts. You can add links in your sidebars or in the footer. You can change the appearance. You can add what they call pages, which are different from posts. A number of settings are available. There is a lot that can be done on the back end of WordPress, and you may not want to be concerned with most of it, except for the fact that eventually you may want to change your website, and then it's going to be time to sit down and learn WordPress, or find someone that knows WordPress to make these changes. Anyway, that's in case you need to get that installed license to make your theme work. That would be how you would do it. Hope that's clear enough. Okay.